Camaro, fiery new creation from Chevrolet.
The first generation Chevrolet Camaro was introduced in 1966 as a direct competitor to the Ford Mustang. The Camaro was designed to appeal to a younger, performance-oriented demographic, and it quickly became a popular choice for those who wanted a stylish and powerful sports car. This is the history of the first generation Chevrolet Camaro, 1967 through 1969. On September 29, 1966, the first Camaro came out for the 1967 model year. In the end, the car shared some parts with the Pontiac Firebird, which was also made by General Motors and came out in 1967. The Chevy Camaro's first generation grew out of necessity. Ford developed a phenomenally successful vehicle named the Ford Mustang in the 1960s. This prompted General Motors to make secret plans for a competitive car. The project was given the alias Panther, which gave it its different dimension of its own. Thanks to the basic rear wheel and two-door coupe or convertible, the car had a successful first-year run. Between its debut in 1967, more than 200,000 Chevy Camaros were sold. Ford and General Motors have been competing in the car market for a long time, so it was no surprise that GM felt a lot of pressure to make a car that could compete with Ford Mustang at the time. The 1966 Mustang was an outstanding achievement, selling over 607,000 cars. However, after the introduction of the 67 Camaro, sales declined to around 472,000 units. The number of Ford Mustangs sold had plummeted to roughly 317,000 by 1968. GM's marketing and production contributed to the downturn. The Rally Sport was an option package that was available with any engine choice. The Rally Sport had an appearance package that added hideaway headlights, unique taillights, special side moldings, and other trim moldings including RS emblems. The package didn't add any performance, but it did look good. The Super Sport was the ground pounder model. The 1967 Camaro SS came standard with a 350 V8 that produced 295 horsepower, or the optional 396 big block V8 that produced 325 or 375 horsepower, depending on the version chosen. Appearance upgrades included the SS emblems, simulated hood air intakes, and a bumblebee stripe on the front of the car. Other performance upgrades included upgraded suspension. Sales came in at 34,411 for the year. Also, the convertible served as the official pace car for the Indianapolis 500. Most of the pace cars were super sport models with the 295 horsepower 350 small blocks. Chevrolet built 104 of these cars and lent them to Indianapolis Motor Speedway VIPs for the month of May 1967.
Whether you're going to work or to work out, Chevy's got what you want. And nothing says performance like Camaro. Camaro, the closest thing to a vet yet.
The 1967 Camaro Z28 was available as a mid-year package and was aimed at the racing crowd. The Z28 was designed to compete in the newly formed Trans Am Racing Series, and one of the rules of the race was an engine size below 305 cubic inches. The engine chosen for the car was the 302 small block V8 that produced 290 horsepower. The Z28 came with an extensive list of performance upgrades, including a mandatory 4-speed manual transmission, quick ratio steering, high-performance tires, and power front brakes. The 1967 Z28 was easily the most expensive of the Camaro coupes.
Here's Camaro, the hugger, gets you home fresh with new Astro ventilation. Coming or going, a new 68 Chevrolet can make those weekday shuttles mighty easy to take.
The way the 1968 Camaro looked was a lot like how it looked in 1967, with the new Astro ventilation system, which lets in fresh air. The side vent windows were taken out as part of safety rules for all cars made in 1968. Side marker lights were added to the front and back fenders. It also had a front grille with more points and split tail lights in the back. The big block SS models got chrome hood inserts that looked like velocity stacks and a black taillight panel with a low gloss finish. The rear shock absorber mounting was changed to stop the wheel from hopping, and models with better performance got rear springs with more than one leaf. A big block engine with a displacement of 396 cubic inches, 6.5 liters for those of you in the UK, and a power output of 350 horsepower. A central office production order, COPO, was put in for the only convertible Z28 Camaro that was ever made. Chevrolet's general manager, Pete Estes, could get to the executive garage where the car was parked. By the way, Pete Estes was a convertible fanatic, and he drove that rare Z28 convertible on a daily. After driving the car, he quickly agreed that the Z28 should be advertised.
Top race drivers tell why Camaro is pace car again.
Actually, boys, because of the way the Camaro lays into a curve, hugs the road. Its magnificent wide stance.
The 1969 Camaro used the same drivetrain and major mechanical parts as the previous year's model, but the sheet metal was all new, except for the hood, trunk lid, and roof. This gave the car a much sportier look. The grille was changed to the heavy V design and headlights that were set deep into it. The car also looked much lower, wider, and more aggressive thanks to the new door skins, rear quarter panels, and a rear valance panel. Under the hood, the 1969 Camaro received several engine upgrades, including a new 350 cubic inch V8, which produced 300 horsepower. The 302 small block was still an option for the Z28. It made 290 horsepower. It had a Muncie 4-speed transmission with a standard Hurst shifter, which was new for 1969. In addition, the 1969 Camaro also received several interior updates, including a new instrument panel, a redesigned center console, and improved sound insulation. However, the 1969 Camaro is perhaps best remembered for the introduction of the COPO, Central Office Production Order program, which allowed buyers to order special performance versions of the Camaro with high-performance engines. One of the most famous COPO Camaros was the ZL1, which was powered by a 427 V8 engine that produced over 430 horsepower. Over the years, the Camaro has continued to evolve, with each new generation offering improvements and new features. However, the first-generation Camaro will always be remembered as one of the most iconic muscle cars of all time. Well, there you have it, the history of the first-generation Chevrolet Camaro, 1967 through 1969. You know, this reminds me of growing up in Los Angeles when I was a little bitty kid, and my Uncle George, one of the Boca uncles, had a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro. I think it was a rally sport. Anyway, he told me at one time that it had a record player that rolled from the glove compartment. Obviously, you're not going to be driving while playing the record player, but if you're parked somewhere and you'd like to listen to a 45 or something, you can just pop the vinyl on the platter. Anyway, what'd you think? Let us know. Leave a comment below. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for future Boca Brother videos. This is Danny B of the Boca Brothers. Thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.